Hey guys, it's Daku, and today I'm here to review Yuri on Ice episodes 1 through 5. Now, this is an anime that I've been really wanting to talk about for quite a while now, and I'm so sad that I wasn't able to review like from the beginning. But I want to address some couple of things because this anime is breaking a lot of stuff that we haven't seen in a while. Um, for example, the last anime that I watched that had, I guess, romantic tones between two males was number six, but that wasn't the main focus of the anime. So therefore, it wasn't labeled as shonen ai or yaoi, whatever you want to label it as. So um, so yeah, I just want to give you guys my thoughts, my thoughts on this anime so far, because this is easily one of my favorite fall anime of 2016. Let's start with episode one. So in episode one, we are introduced to Yuri Katsuki, and he he's very introverted. He doesn't really have much confidence in himself, and that is something I can really relate to because um, he doesn't believe in himself even though he has the right ideas on what he wants to do for his ice skating. It's just so sad that he doesn't believe in himself, just like, oh no. And throughout this couple of episodes you can see him evolving. He went from like, oh, I don't want to do this to, I want to get out there. And I'll tell you the reason why he's not trying to get out there. Um, but yeah, so pretty much, first episode, Yuri lost majorly in that year, and he kind of lost motivation because he was losing, and I can understand, you're losing, you're like, oh, I guess this is it for me, and he's at that age where like ice, like 23 years old, where ice skating is like, you usually see like the 15-year-olds like Yurio, but I'll get that into it later, but he then gets introduced, we then get introduced to Victor, and Victor is like this legendary ice skater, and I was like, okay, and that was Yuri's, idol. It was like a god, and the reason why Victor went is because he saw Yuri's performance, online, and how he was performing the same program as he was. He was like, he said that he felt inspired by Yuri, and I was like, okay, and he shows up and says, "You know what, Yuri? I'm gonna be your coach, and you're gonna win the Grand Prix finals." And I was like, "Oh, okay, whatever. That sounds cool." And it's like, okay, so this is the plot, Pretty much, we're gonna get Yuri for his last season to be like the one that he wins everything, all gold medals. So I was like, okay, I'm on board with this. But so then in episode two, we get introduced, to Yurio, and Yurio is, a 15-year-old Russian skater, and he is pretty much. I feel like he's going the Victor route, like where they win gold medals at a very young age, and I was like, okay, Yurio is pretty much going down that path, but then he's like, why is Victor in Japan? He was supposed to program my next. He was supposed to choreograph my next program. What the hell is he doing in Japan? And I was like, oh. And then, so yeah, so then he goes to Japan, to get Victor back to Russia. He's like, what are you doing, And Victor's like, okay, in order for you guys, to resolve this problem, we'll have a little competition. And I was like, and then he's like, okay, a little competition between both of them, and they get to dance like the agape, like pure, sincere love, and Eros, the erotic, sexual love. And Yuri's like, oh, I'll dance agape. And Yuri's like, yeah, I'll dance Eros. And Victor's like, no, you guys are switching, because he says that you shouldn't dance something that you're comfortable with, that you should always surprise the audience. And that's something that I really liked about Victor, that he's a genius. He's a freaking genius. Like, you don't want your audience to already know what to expect from you. You want to surprise them, And he says, he says, you guys gotta dance this, find your arrows, find your agape. And they're struggling so hard in this episode. They don't know, like, like, what does that mean? And eventually Yuri finds his arrows and food, and I was like, okay, I guess that makes sense, And Yuri is a little bit more in depth to what his agape is, and that's the love that he had for his grandfather, And I was like, oh, we're getting, character development from Yurio. and hopefully they can give us like a little bit more of backstory on him because he kind of like just appeared and didn't disappear. We still get little glimpses here and there of him, but not really much into his character. So yeah, they both find their arrows in agape, but the thing is that a lot of my friends were like, "Well, Yurio should have won. He skated the program really well," and I was like, "Yeah, he skated the program, precisely perfect, but he lost his agape in the middle of it. He's like, he was already wanted that performance to end. He wasn't no longer portraying that agape to the audience, and I think that's why he knew that he lost, because unlike Yuri when he was dancing the arrows performance, he kept portraying arrows. He didn't lose it, even though he like tripped and fell on his program. He did not lose the arrows. He kept portraying that to the audience, and I felt like that was the reason why Yuri won and not Yurio. So I was like, okay, I understand, well, and that's what Victor wants him. Like, you can't not portray emotions to the audience. Like, how can you expect a reaction with the audience when you're not portraying anything? Like skating is supposed to portray like dancing. Your body movement is supposed to tell a story. You're supposed to make the audience feel something. But if you're just dancing just to dance, well, the audience is not going to be like, they're not going to have a reaction to you. So I props to Victor for teaching them that, because that helped Yurio grow a lot. He's like, I can't just skate. I just can keep skating this and just not portray emotions to the audience. So I was like, yeah, Victor was right. You need to show audience your emotions and how you feel, and change a little bit how you ice skate, not just sticking to the program and then just skate to skate. Um, then we come to, so that was, I think, like episode 2 and 3 wrapped up kind of, and then we come to episode 4 where Victor's already Yuri's coach, and they're pretty much deciding like what program they want to submit, or what music they want to submit for their program. And Yuri is kind of struggling on this too, because he's, like I said before, he's not very confident in himself. Like, he even told Victor, like, his previous coach used to pick the music for him. And then I don't know, Yuri, I feel like Yuri is slowly growing, and you can totally tell throughout this series that he's totally growing in character. And he says that he did have a music choice before, but he said that it came too close to home of how he actually is, that he didn't know he was gonna ice skate perfectly to that. So he's like, scratch that music. So then he reaches out to the same girl who composed that music piece. He's like, can you make something else? Like, I'm sorry that I didn't dance to that one, but can you make another one? So she does make another one, and then we also get introduced to another character called Pichito-kun, I think. I'm sorry I'm saying that wrong, but yeah, the guy from Thailand, like his friend. And I feel like he's going to be a tough competitor in the future, ice skating competition to come. So he might look innocent, but I feel like he's gonna be a tough competitor. Always the innocent ones are the tough ones. Um, so yeah, we get introduced to Pachito-gun, who's like a very a long time friend. And another thing that I noticed from Yuri is that how Yuri was displaying and describing himself, that he didn't really have the confidence in himself. I was like, why doesn't have the confidence in himself? I felt like I thought Yuri wasn't good enough, ice skating. I thought there was just something, a dream he had. He wanted to ice skate, and that was it. But then Pichito-kun, and later on in episode 5 we get introduced to Minami. They say Yuri is a tough competitor and really, really good. And I was like, why is Yuri like degrading himself? Like, he's really, really good at ice skating. Why doesn't he have the confidence? And that is when Victor comes in. Victor, oh bless his soul, he changed Yuri for the better. Like, he gives Yuri so much confidence, like that he didn't have. Like, in episode 1, he's like, downing himself all over to episode 3, I believe, where he's like, I'm not sure if I'm gonna ice skate this right. And I was like, Yuri, have confidence in yourself. I'm pretty sure Yuri had more confidence in himself and done the way he wanted to do things, he I don't know where he had been, but it's just so sad that he didn't have any confidence. So I'm so glad that he met Victor. And Victor is so down to earth, even though he's this legendary ice skater. He helps Yuri develop, develop his character and build up that confidence that he hasn't had, And they complement each other so well, like, and that's another thing too that this anime is doing right. The relationship between those two, I would not be surprised if those two ended up together by the end of the series. Like, this show is giving me number six vibes, like, very badly. It's giving me number six vibes, and I really hope they do. Like, if they don't end up together, that's fine, But their relationship is just so pure, so I don't even know. Like, every single thing they do is like it feels natural, It's not like, and the people I know people don't like this because of the yaoi or boy on boy undertones, People are like, oh, I'm not gonna watch that because ill. I if they had been two girls, I still would have watched this because it's beautiful how the relationship is developing. It's just I don't know. Props to Bappa because I've not seen this in a while, to be honest. And there was we have seen multiple times where they are very like what's it called, like they like they're comfortable with each other. Like in episode one, straight up, when Victor tried to get close to Yuri immediately backs off. He's like, whoa there, personal space, don't do that to me. And then slowly on episode two, Victor starts to get closer to him, and that's when Yuri starts feeling more comfortable. You see the hugging, and Victor gets close. He gets closer too, and episode five, when he hugs him from the back, he's like, I was like, whoa, I know it's a little bit like, a little bit like, it's not really like, I don't really feel like it's fan service. If anything, I feel like I'm the third wheel in, in this show because it's like so intimate and so pure. You're like, I feel like, oh, I'm in the third wheel here. But I really like that they're slowly, or at least Yuri is slowly opening up to Victor, and it's just really pretty, really pure, should I say, to see this relationship develop slowly and not for comedic effects. Um, so yeah, I really like where the direction where Yuri on Ice is going, and I do hope that whatever relationship they want to end up in, uh, it's to me it's gonna be like very one of my most remember anime because it was just such a beautiful relationship to watch grow, and if it does become and people are still saying it's not canon because whatever, and if episode five, really hope I'm interpreting that right. But Yuri pretty much confesses love for Victor on national TV, and supposedly, in the anime, Victor and Yuri only talk to each other in English, and that's why Victor had no reaction to Yuri's speech because Victor doesn't speak Japanese. I'm sure if they were try to translate it in Russian, he would be like, oh shit, But I'm pretty sure Victor. I feel like Victor 100% loves Yuri, and Yuri's just now realized like, yeah, I don't want to lose Victor. Um, but yeah, so yeah, I'm really liking where this is going. The art and animation, it's okay, I really hope that they're saving that budget for like really incredible scenes once the competition start. Like they save like that money for like Pichito Kun, Yurio's like because Yurio's also like evolving, and that's one thing I really like about the Yuri and Ice. They're developing everybody, not just like Yuri, not just Victor, not just Yurio. They're developing everybody. So I really hope that the budget that they're saving, I hope it's for this. So yeah, our animation, it's okay. Um, the music, oh, the music is beautiful, gorgeous. Ever since I saw the first piano piece and the first trailer, I fell in love with that. The music in this is top notch. Like, I love it. I can't wait for the O's to come out. But yeah, I think that's all for me, guys. I really hope you guys enjoyed my first review. I hope it wasn't uh I'll improve. I'll improve on time. Hopefully I can review the next episode next week on time. And thank you so much for listening. Let me know what you guys thought in the comments below. Hope you guys liked this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!